The internet may never recover from what Candace Parker just did. In one bold moment, the most respected voice in women's basketball shattered the illusion propping up Angel Reese's popularity, and the fallout was seismic. Fans of Reese, often called the Reese's Pieces, are in absolute meltdown mode, flooding timelines with outrage and accusations. But Parker, she's standing firm, completely unbothered, armed with nothing but hard truth and decades of elite basketball knowledge. Her C-tier ranking of Angel Reese didn't just stir the pot, it flipped the entire table, revealing what so many insiders have been whispering for months. Reese isn't who her fans think she is. While social media fawned over her double-doubles and mainstream media labeled her the league's next big thing, Candace Parker calmly stepped forward and said what needed to be said. Angel Reese isn't a top-tier player. She's not a game-changer. She's not even close. In Parker's words, Reese is a role player, and not a particularly effective one when it comes to winning basketball. That sound you hear? That's the sound of manufactured hype hitting a brick wall called reality. Let's be clear. Candace Parker didn't say this out of spite or jealousy. This is Candace Parker we're talking about. Two-time WNBA MVP. Champion. Olympic gold medalist. Her resume speaks louder than any comment section ever could. And when she laid out her tier list, S, A, B, C, Reese landed in C, right next to an injured Cameron Brink. And it wasn't just some throwaway ranking. Parker backed it up with logic, game tape, and first-hand insight that only a legend could provide. She explained, with the cool precision of a surgeon, what separates stars from stat stuffers. Real stars carry teams. They elevate those around them. They shift defensive schemes, demand double teams, and win games. Reese. She rebounds. She hustles. But she doesn't win. And that's the line that matters. No matter how many points or rebounds she racks up, if her team keeps losing, what's the point? And that's where things start to get ugly. As Parker's tier list circulated, the reaction was immediate and volcanic. Reese's fans were outraged. They called Parker a hater, a sellout, a clout chaser. But Parker didn't flinch. In fact, she clarified her stance even more publicly. On the Good Follow podcast, she calmly reiterated, "This isn't personal. I love Angel Reese," she said. "I'm not attacking her character. I'm evaluating her game." This wasn't shade. It was substance. And for the first time, the glossy narrative surrounding Reese began to crack under the weight of truth. Because if we're being real, Candace Parker isn't alone in this. Other analysts quickly rallied behind her, validating the claim that Reese's stats are deceiving. They pointed to Chicago Sky's performance as evidence. A team with Reese grabbing double-doubles almost every night, yet still suffering blowout losses and embarrassing collapses. If Reese's production is so impressive, why is her team constantly getting humiliated? Let's talk about the Minnesota meltdown. In what may go down as the most damning game of Reese's season, she turned the ball over 9 times. 9. That's not a rough night. That's a basketball catastrophe. You don't need to be a coach to know that 9 turnovers from a starting forward is a red flag the size of a stadium. And yet, the media still tried to spin it. "She got a double-double," they cried, as if that excuses a -19 plus, minus and a performance that cost her team the game. What's worse? These weren't elite defenders pressuring her into turnovers. These were sloppy, unforced errors. Wild passes into traffic. Botched footwork. Lazy cross-court attempts that landed in the stands. One no-look pass looked like she was trying to feed a ghost. You don't get points for style when your team's down 20-0. And yet, even with mounting evidence, the Chicago coaching staff refused to adjust. They kept her on the floor, padding stats in garbage time instead of trying to win. Why? Because the brand of Angel Reese has become more valuable than the performance of Angel Reese. And that's the real issue. The Reese marketing machine, complete with Bayou Barbie slogans and post-game soundbites, has outpaced the actual game. Let's look at the hard numbers. When Angel Reese plays more than 30 minutes per game, the Chicago Sky's win percentage plummets. When she's limited or benched, the team performs better. That's not a coincidence. That's a damning trend. Her presence on the court doesn't elevate the team, it suffocates it. The offense becomes predictable. The ball movement slows. Other players shrink, waiting for Reese to crash the glass or attempt a forced layup. And every turnover becomes a momentum swing the Sky can't recover from. How many more games does Chicago need to lose before someone calls this what it is? A hoax. Angel Reese isn't leading the Sky. She's holding them back. But the media doesn't want to hear that. They're too invested in the Clark versus Reese narrative, the story of two rookies from rival colleges clashing in the pros. Only one problem. It's not a rivalry when one player is dominating the league and the other is barely keeping her team afloat. Caitlin Clark is changing the game. Angel Reese is changing hairstyles. And this brings us back to Candace Parker. Her tier list wasn't an insult. It was a mirror. She showed Reese's supporters what the rest of the league already sees. A role player with glaring flaws disguised as a superstar because the league needs a marketable face. But real hoopers know the truth. Winning matters. And right now, Reese isn't delivering. Her defenders point to her rebounding streaks, her hustle stats, her charisma. But those things don't win playoff games. They don't silence a home crowd. They don't elevate teammates the way Clark does in Indiana. They don't cover up 9 turnovers and 0 awareness in crunch time. Parker wasn't being harsh. She was being honest. And now that honesty is opening the floodgates. More analysts are beginning to speak out. More fans are noticing the pattern. Turnovers. Blown assignments. Bad spacing. Missed rotations. All masked by gaudy rebounding totals that don't translate to wins. The Sky are worse when Reese plays more. That's not just a narrative, that's math. Meanwhile, the Fever are thriving. Without Clark, they still found a way to beat top teams. With her, they look like a future dynasty in the making. She makes others better. Reese, meanwhile, demands touches she can't convert and minutes she hasn't earned. It's not hate. It's accountability. Chicago is now facing a crossroads. Do they continue propping up Reese for the sake of clicks and branding? Or do they finally admit that their so-called star isn't getting the job done? If Candace Parker has the courage to say it, so should everyone else. This isn't about dragging Angel Reese. This is about demanding more from someone who claims to be elite. If you want to call yourself the face of the league, act like it. Lead like it. Win like it. Until then, the C-tier label fits just fine. And if that stings, good. Maybe it'll wake up the coaching staff, the front office, and the media that's been enabling this illusion for far too long. You can only polish the narrative for so long before the truth shines through. Reese's double-doubles don't scare opponents. Her turnovers do. And until that changes, Candace Parker's ranking isn't controversial, it's generous. Let us know in the comments if you think Candace Parker got it right. Are Angel Reese's numbers fooling people, or does she deserve more credit? Drop "Baby Giraffe" in the comments if you stand with Parker. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss the next time the truth drops like this.